Snow fell over Evergreen Hollow in neat, obedient lines. Every rooftop was evenly dusted, every wreath was fluffed just so. Christmas in this town was curated to perfection. That is when Crow arrived. They called him by many things. Once, the primordial darkness, the first silence, the end between stars. But tonight, he wore a human shape. They stepped out of the dark just like it had parted for them, hands tucked in their gloves, boots crunching against the snow with lazy confidence. His clothes were black and loose, threaded with flashes of neon pink, like rebellion stitched straight into the fabric of reality. A crooked laced-up shirt with strange green sigils, as if something old had tried and failed to stay hidden. Crow's hair was shaved on one side, the rest falling forward in jagged strands of black and red, like a warning flame. Their smile was sharp, knowing and far too pleased with itself. He smiled. "Oh, I do love Christmas," Crow said, adjusting his gloves. "Such fragile order, such ripe traditions." He loved Christmas, not for the peace, not for the order, but for how easily it could be bent. Crow flicked 2 fingers, and the holiday slipped. The first thing to change was the music. Carolers on the corners opened their mouths to sing Silent Night, but instead harmonized perfectly in a minor key that bent the air. The bells rang off beat, lyrics rearranged themselves mid-verse. The song sounded beautiful, haunting, but it was still joyful, just joy with teeth. Crow strolled on, humming along. Christmas lights began to blink. Some blinked too fast, others lagged behind, like they were deciding whether to cooperate. Reds swapped places with blues, and greens pulsed like breathing things. Snowflakes hesitated mid-air, spinning lazily before falling again, as if unsure gravity still applied. Crow laughed softly, breath fogging the air. Inside Evergreen Hollow Mall, chaos bloomed like a poinsettia. Gift wrap twisted in impossible patterns, bows tied themselves into knots that no human fingers could undo. Ornaments clinked together and whispered secrets no one remembered forgetting. Wrapped gifts grew warm in people's hands, not threatening, not dangerous, just charged, humming with possibilities and poor impulse control. Crow leaned against Santa's throne, watching. "Oh, relax," he said as the mall Santa entered a state of horror, and his beard slowly turned into black tinsel. "I'm festive, not cruel." The reindeer display outside clocked to life, hoofs clicking in uneven rhythms. They did not run, they danced. The snowmen by the fountain bowed politely and asked strangers uncomfortable philosophical questions about entropy, goodwill, and offered unsolicited life advice about the embracing imperfection. And yet, people laughed. Children clapped at the strange lights. Couples shared hot cocoa as the snow continued to struggle with remembering gravity. Even the adults, confused and unsettled, felt something beneath the unease. Something about the chaos felt warm, like the kind that breaks you open instead of apart. Crow had noticed this and frowned slightly. He walked to the town square where the great Christmas tree stood decorated to perfection, star blazing at the top of it. The tree never knew disorder. It was the heart of Evergreen Hollow's holiday spirit. Crow had placed his hand on the trunk, and darkness flowed, or tried to, for the tree did not crack. The ornaments reshaped themselves, not into symbols of ruin, but into mismatched memories, patched toys, messy dinners, found families, strange traditions that only worked because no one followed the rules, imperfect moments glowing with stubborn joy. The star flickered, and then shone brighter. Crow stepped back, surprised. They laughed a deep, ancient sound that rattled the snow from the branches. "Well played," he admitted. "Chaos doesn't always mean collapse." With a snap of his fingers, the night softened, not normal, never normal, but balanced. The music steadied in a wild, joyful noise. The light found a rhythm no one could explain. The reindeer bowed dramatically. By morning, everything would mostly be normal again. Mostly. As Crow walked out of town, the snow spelling Merry Khaosmas behind him, he smiled to himself. Same time next year, he said. After all, what better season for chaos than the one built on miracles, hope, and the audacity to believe that light could survive the dark?